Hey everybody, hopefully the last one from the road. Let's jump in. Bitcoin Daily is back. And today we're going to talk about how Bitcoin is ready to accelerate. So thank you all for joining. I'm going to make this real quick. And of course, not financial advice. Thank you, Patreon. Fear and greed is way back up again, back to normal times. We keep facing resistance at 64,000, but that's kind of normal. And we'll just keep plugging away. Now, let's get into some of the Bitcoin news. Some very important things happening. First of all, this is interesting from Standard Chartered Bank. By the way, they have a huge operation in Singapore. I was stunned. They believe no matter what happens with the US elections, Bitcoin is going to hit $200,000 either way. So who cares? Let's go. In addition, Michael Saylore with an E, wrong, mistake. He now has over 250,000 Bitcoin, which is pretty impressive. I'll show you a chart in a few minutes. But what's really important is Michael Saylor said this. He said a while back, 3 catalysts are needed for Bitcoin to hit $5 million a Bitcoin. Again, hopium hit of the day. Here you can see 2 down and nearly 3 to go. We have the spot ETF approval. We have the fair value accounting rules from FASB, hopefully coming in December. And bank custody is coming. Yes, we have that with Mellon. This slide here is out of sequence. $2 trillion shop BNY Mellon Bank will start custodying Bitcoin and other digital assets. This is huge. Very, very important. In addition, Bitcoin options will accelerate adoption. I've covered this as well pretty extensively. Eric Balchunas says options have been approved. SEC granted accelerated approval for BlackRock, listing of trading options on IBIT, and that will bring a lot of institutional money into Bitcoin. Again, as I said before, even on DCA yesterday, I don't touch an asset unless it's optionable. So, and that's just me. I'm not even an institution. And what's also interesting too is Jeff Park. He was reacting to the SEC news of options for Bitcoin. And he said this approval is significant, very positive development for the cryptocurrency market. The tweet, again, he talked about here, this interesting thing, vol on vol. So he believes there's going to be a lot of increased volatility, potentially substantial gains in the crypto market, describing it as an extraordinary moment in financial history. Again, he's a guy who's not given to much exaggeration or hyperbole. And he spoke about the phrase vol of vol, and this refers to volatility of volatility, indicating expectations of significant market movements, of course. We like high vol assets. Also, another interesting development, BlackRock is expressing concerns about Coinbase. BlackRock now requires Coinbase to deposit Bitcoin directly on-chain within 12 hours of instruction, after concerns were raised it was selling paper Bitcoin to ETFs. And shout out to Tyler Durden as well, that brought this story to light, and hopefully got them to change some ways in which they behave. In addition, RFK, the former presidential candidate, he believes Bitcoin mining is a powerful new tool for supporting renewable intensive grids. Again, he understands Bitcoin, he understands Bitcoin mining, he understands the problems with electrical grids in the US, and this is yet another very positive feather in the cap for Bitcoin. And speaking of mining, Iris Energy hits 20 exahash a little sooner than expected, and they might even hit 21 exahash by the end of this month, September. And Bhutan has mined $780 million in Bitcoin. That is incredible for such a tiny kingdom. And it shows you how little places can actually hodl a lot and mine a lot. I think they are now the 3rd biggest country in terms of Bitcoin hodl today. And El Salvador mined 474 Bitcoin from their volcano-fueled geothermal power. So it's all happening. The game theory is slowly kicking in, and it's a very exciting time to watch all of this. In addition, there's a lot of confusion around what's happening with the yen and rate cuts and everything else. Well, this is a little bit of an interesting story. You know, we know the Fed cut their rates by 50 basis points. and the yen has been weak, and the Japanese yen's declining against the dollar, supports a Bitcoin price rally. So a lot of people are concerned it could be bad for Bitcoin, but no, it's not. It's positive. And a strong dollar relative to the yen favors risk-on trades, boosting Bitcoin alongside other assets like gold and silver too. So again, consider this like a short dollar proxy. In addition, let's talk about other stuff that just happened to, not talking about Japan, but China. They've done a couple of things all of a sudden in the last 24 hours. They have launched a comprehensive economic stimulus package, marking the most significant intervention since C-19, COVIDians. And the People's Bank of China has reduced its key policy interest rate by 0.2 percentage points to 1.5%. And they do expect more cuts later. So they'll be going back down to what's called ZIRP, which is zero interest rate policy, like the rest of the world, because everything is built on debt. And the PBOC also lowered their reserve requirement ratio for banks by 50 basis points. All of these things will also help pump Bitcoin. This is the more cowbell stuff. Now let's talk about a few quick charts. This is the black is bad charts. First of all, technically, per crypto quant, Bitcoin did hit a bear market briefly back in August 2024, last month. Crazy. But the good news is it rebounded. Now, their definition of a bear market is when the Bitcoin price falls under the 111-day moving average in a bull market. And that's what happened. So consider it like a drawdown, a mini correction. But the good news about this chart, even though it's in the bad news category, is we rebounded back, which is positive. Also, Plan B, he talks about how yellow periods are boring. And this is the Bitcoin realized price. Yellow periods are boring because Bitcoin does not move. And it's all about the short periods between 2013, 2017, 2020. These are the fundamental price moves that happen. We are ready to go into that next big price move. Bitcoin is going to accelerate from here. Again, if history repeats, and it tends to repeat all the time. Now let's talk about some good charts. Sorry about the background noise in a lounge here. Drives me crazy. Anyway, here comes a big cart. This is also, it shows how this cycle is not too different where we are right now. 2 years into the recovery. A lot of people think the bull market hasn't begun yet, but we have been recovering for 2 years now, believe it or not. Almost. It'll be 2 years in November. But the point is, we are pretty much where we were in previous cycles, exactly at this stage. So again, do not despair, but the big banana zone is coming. Also, if history repeats, this is also from CryptoQuant, they look at the triggers of the 180-day price, high and low all time. And you get typically 3 different signals. We've already had 2 signals. The next one, number 3, is coming after number 2, and that's the big one typically right before a big price rise. So again, all signs lead to a sign of acceleration coming real soon. And while you're sleeping, whales are stacking. This is from Ash Crypto. There's a new whale on Binance. He's buying 450 Bitcoin slices rapidly, all in the space of 1 hour. Bought nearly 1,500 Bitcoin. So again, whales are getting ready for the October that's coming. Another good chart is MicroStrategy now has more Bitcoin than Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, which continues to bleed out. IBIT, of course, is the big one. I don't expect MicroStrategy to catch BlackRock, but it's good to see this perspective. And I do believe Fidelity will eclipse Grayscale soon. And then you see Tether, ARK, Bitwise, etc. down the line, and Marathon is quite visible there too. In addition, another piece of good news, the Bitcoin hash rate dominance is shifting to the US mining companies. Chinese mining pools operate 55% of the network, while US pools only manage 40%, but they've grown. That's at an all-time high right now for the US mining pools. Back in the day, 2018, it was all China. Now it's nearly 40% USA and hopefully 50% soon. And the US pools primarily cater to institutional miners in America, and the Chinese pools support small private miners in Asia. Now let's talk about a little bit of the ETF. I haven't checked in on those guys in a while. Bitcoin Only playlist will be here after the video. And Black Hole, we are now back above trend. We had a couple of pretty good days. $100 million days, $250 million days, $50 million days the last 3 days. So all in all, positive under accumulation. That's also going to accelerate once they see the price going up. And the number of Bitcoin taken from the system yesterday was 456. The day before, 2,615. And the day before that, about 3,000. So again, things are looking up. Thank you all for coming. Sorry for the background noise. See you all later.